mess. That's the stuff you just want to get rid of in the road. Have an amazing day, everybody. Chris and Jen, pick it up now.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Chris Warren.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. The big thaw is still on for much of the country. And our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postella, is here in the lab to talk about this. Because, Greg, it's warm for now, but, you know, is spring really here?
Yeah, and it depends where you are in the country. I mean, I think it's going to be warm for a while in many places. Unfortunately, the Northeast, maybe not so, and we'll talk about that more. Winter weather may be coming back into play.
We're also going to talk about, guys, another byproduct to all this fog, especially during the overnight hours and then in the morning. It's the foggy conditions like we're seeing right here, causing several serious accidents. This in Indiana overnight. And Indiana State Police say at least 2 people were killed in this and several injured after several accidents along the highway. Also, fog could be potentially to blame for a military helicopter crash. This was last night off the coast of Florida. And here's what we know right now. Search teams have found human remains and crash debris near Eglin Air Force Base in the Florida Panhandle. The accident happened during night training that started out of Hammond, Louisiana. The Black Hawk was flying in heavy fog and low visibility. 4 crew members and 7 Marines were on board the helicopter. The cause of the crash is still being investigated. Jen?
Chris, thank you for that. Now, we still have a lot of fog out there. I will say it's improving in many spots, but not everywhere. So let's look at the latest situation. A lot of schools are actually delayed this morning, not because of snow, but because of fog. Fog delays in Indiana. About 100 schools near Indianapolis dealing with that, where we are still socked in at the airport at 1/8 of a mile. Now, it's getting better in Chicago. Still very foggy up here in northern Ohio, Cleveland, 1/16 of a mile. Baltimore area saw some schools delayed as well because of fog. You can see in D.C. right now, visibility up to about 6 miles, so improvement there. We're going to keep seeing that improvement as we get through the day. I should say these were the fog values earlier this morning. Here's where we are right now. Indy's still socked in at 1/8 of a mile, improving much more around D.C. And to Cleveland as well. But as we get you through the morning, we still have about another hour to some dense fog advisories, including down here right along the Gulf Coast, around Mobile. We're at 1/2 mile right now, still 1/4 mile in Pensacola. So that's what's happening with the fog situation. Let's talk about temperatures because, of course, they factor into all this fog that we're getting, Chris.
The temperatures do, Jen, factor into all the fog we're seeing. In fact, take a look at this temperature right here in Indianapolis. It's 34 degrees, and let's take a look right now live at Indianapolis and get an idea of what's happening. And if you can believe it, this is Indianapolis. We do know because that's where our feed's coming in, and hopefully maybe you can recognize some of what you're looking at here. Looks like there's a street we're looking down at. Doesn't look like we're too far away from the street, which would indicate there is some fog, some thick fog low here to the ground. So let's go ahead now and take a look at some of the other temperatures we're seeing across the Midwest. And right now, all of these temperatures all the way up to Fargo and also over to the UP, these temperatures are warmer than freezing. And this is the time of year you can still definitely see some cool wintertime temperatures, but that's not the case. In fact, highs today, it's going to warm up. Highs today expected to get close to record-breaking temperatures. In Fargo, North Dakota, the forecast is 59 degrees. The standing record also 59. So we are expecting to tie that record, getting close in Bismarck, also in Aberdeen and Sioux City, close to records. And this is a look at some of that warmth here. It will be into the 70s in some spots. Some very warm air, again, hanging around tomorrow. Still looking at temperatures 20 to 25 degrees warmer than what you might expect this time of year. And Chicago, you're going to be close to 60, while Dodge City, 15 degrees warmer than average. That is 71 degrees. That's what you can expect there. Kansas warming up. Also, Minneapolis, you're going to be in the 60s. So this is a look at Chicago. The last day it was 60 degrees or warmer in Chicago was on November 10th. Your average first day is right around March 2nd. So this is something that's not totally unusual, but something that likely, because it's been November, guys, likely welcome in Chicago.
Well, it is as warm as it was on Christmas across parts of the Northeast, which actually was our warmest day as we look back for places like New York City.
Yeah, and the warmth is obviously in play now. Look at today's highs all across the region, anywhere from the Ohio Valley to the Northeast. You guys are doing really well. 50 in Boston, 7 degrees above average. That's going to do a lot to help melt the snow as well. Tomorrow, not quite as warm, but still in many places, I would say south of New York City will be above average. New England hanging on to the cold. So the next couple days, Jen, will be pretty good, but watch out this weekend because we're keeping an eye on this squirrely little thing.
All right, so we're tracking a lot of rain in the south. Eventually that storm system tracks up into the Northeast.
It does. And on Saturday, we're going to bring some rain into southern New England and parts of the Northeast, and snow in northern New England, and likewise on Saturday night. But there's a question, and you and I were talking about this. What's going to happen on Sunday night? Is there going to be some coastal development? Because some of the models do suggest that.
Spring storm systems are so tricky to forecast, right? Because, you know, during the day you got the great March sun angle, and so you're going to see more rain than anything else. But by Sunday, when the system moves offshore and the cold air filters back in behind it, there's a chance of snow. Let's
look at one of the models, Jen, shall we? This would be the GFS model for Sunday night, putting low pressure here, a pretty strong one. And you and I were talking about this. We got to make sure this is cold air coming in on the backside.
All of that white on there is referencing the cold air that's coming in.
That's right. So a powerful storm developing just offshore with some cold air on the backside and also throwing some moisture back up into that cold air. So let me just tell you right now that the GFS has pretty significant snow in eastern New England Sunday night and early Monday morning. So the question is,
do the other models agree? Yeah.
Do we believe it? Is it tempting? I mean, I should say it is tempting to throw it out because, you know, 5-day forecast from the GFS has been suspect from time to time. Let's look at the GFS jet stream position on Sunday night, Jen, and let's see if it has any friends.
Okay, so we'll pull on some of the other models and similar, certainly patterns similar.
Yeah, there does have some friends. It's not necessarily a crazy outlier. There's the GFS, and when you have that dip in the jet stream like that, that tends to lead to stormy weather here. But some of the other models are also doing similar things as well.
So where's the Euro? Draw in the Euro.
Let me draw in the Euro for you guys. It's this green one right in there. The Euro says no. It puts everything
too far offshore.
TFO. Too far offshore. That's
too
my
far off.
Acronym of the day.
But at any rate, there is a chance, and this is something that we'll keep watching new information as it comes in.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Chris.
All right, thanks, guys. Nearly 2 million college students on spring break right now. And the weather, well, depending on where they are in the south in many spots, the weather just not cooperating.
Dense fog has been a problem for millions this morning. It's not lifting here in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and there's more heavy rain for parts of the Gulf Coast. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. We've got the forecast coming up on Weather Center Live.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Delta Intuition Chrome Shower Head for just $39 at Lowe's.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get special financing for 12 months on purchases of $4.99 or more on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Eligible for Medicare? That's a good thing, but it doesn't cover everything. Only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. So consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement insurance plans, they could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call today to request a free decision guide. With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. Join the millions who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP and provided by United Healthcare Insurance Company, which has over 30 years of experience behind it. With all the good years ahead, look for the experience and commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
Hello, America, and good morning. Temperatures this weekend will reach into the 70s.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This Sunday, extreme weather of biblical proportions.
The gates of hell are opening up, and this is the entry to it.
Top 10 Bible weather, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Winter is hard on your face, the start of sneeze season, and the wind-blown watery eyes. That's why Puffs Plus Lotion is gentle on sensitive skin, so you can always put your best face forward. A face in need deserves Puffs indeed, and try Puffs Soft Pack today.
Puffs Plus Lotion. A face in need deserves Puffs indeed.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste so much energy, it's like leaving a window open in your home all year long. Don't let another year go by. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. And right now, when you buy 2 rooms of windows, you get the 3rd room free. Plus, Champion now offers no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. So call 844-4CHAMPION today. Because every home needs a champion.
It may seem strange, but people really can love their laxative, especially when it's Miralax. It hydrates, eases, and softens to unblock your system naturally, so you have peace of mind from start to finish. Love your laxative, Miralax.
Right now, this is a live look here at Panama City Beach, Florida. 70 degrees and some clouds, but the sun's getting through just enough that the pier here casting a little bit of a shadow right in the middle of your screen. You see that?
It looks fantastic. Oh, I love the water down here. Water temperature still a little cool, about 62 degrees for spring breakers. But who needs to swim? You can go check out Luke Bryan. He's got his very last spring break tour. It's tonight and tomorrow night at Spinnaker and PCB. Oh, wish I was there. It's going to be a great party.
You wish you were there more for the beach or more there for Luke?
For the music.
Okay. For Luke.
And the beach. And the sand. Oh, it's going to be, and the weather. I mean, really, we do have some storms, and we're going to talk about that. But for now, the weather looks good.
For now.
Right.
For now. It is spring break, and about 2 million college students are on spring break this week.
We do have soggy weather out there spreading across the South today, and unfortunately for spring breakers, that's not going away anytime soon. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is in Gulf Shores, Alabama with more. Mike.
Good morning, Jen and Chris. On the beaches of Gulf Shores, Alabama, shrouded in fog. It's been like this since late yesterday around sundown all night long. And the visibility is at times below a quarter of a mile. You can look up the beach and hardly see it. You probably can't even see those palm trees behind me. And the reason for this is a relatively warm air, mid to upper 60s, going over the cooler water. The Gulf water temperature now about 60 here in Gulf Shores. This is going to be a continuing problem again tonight and early on Thursday morning. As far as rainfall goes, most of that yesterday confined to Louisiana and Mississippi. Take a look at these scary skies I grabbed near Biloxi. This is the water tower just off I-10. This is the leading edge of the line of storms that dumped heavy rainfall at the rate of 1 to 2 inches an hour. New Orleans had a record rain yesterday of 2 1/4 inches, and the rain moved east across I-10, and there it is. I'm driving through this. Boy, it was white knuckle driving. Visibilities were down, and there was a lot of ponding on the roadways, and it was certainly unsafe to drive the speed limit of 65 or 70 miles an hour. Once again today, the best shot for rain will be west of here, Mississippi, especially Louisiana. Flash flood watches continue through Thursday in New Orleans and across southeastern and central Louisiana. From here east towards Panama City, Pensacola Beach, where there are thousands of spring breakers, it's not going to be very wet. We're looking for some PM storms today and again Thursday, but it won't be very sunny either. But again, how can you complain if you're coming down from the north? Temperatures both afternoons somewhere between 70 and 75. Jen and Chris, back to you.
Especially if you're coming from, Maine, where temperatures are still below freezing. Yeah, you're loving it. Look at this.
You are. In fact, Jen, if you look at the afternoon temperatures here, we're looking at...
Is this a peanut? What is this?
No, it's supposed to be a flip-flop.
Oh, it is a flip-flop.
So flip-flop weather here. However, there's a chance for umbrella weather in the afternoon. That's the problem that we're dealing with.
And there's going to be really two rounds. We'll get those thunderstorms coming in today and then again Friday. Daytona Beach looks
80s.
There is the chance of hit or miss showers. We had some yesterday.
Something you need to watch out for there. Then in Miami, if you're heading to South Florida, lower 80s, but dry.
Only one issue is that the rip current risk is very high.
Be careful at the beaches.
Yeah, be very careful at the beaches.
Swim near the lifeguards.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Right. Now, of course, we're enjoying the warmth in the south here, but it's warming up in the Midwest, and another byproduct of the big thaw is ice jams.
Not talking about the ice in your glass there for you spring breakers, talking about the ice in the river.
Your relationship with your dog is pure. It's innocent. It's work, but it's perfect. You wouldn't trade it for the world. So protect your dog with Trifexis. Trifexis is the monthly beef-flavored tablet that prevents heartworm disease, kills fleas, and prevents infestations, and treats and controls hook, round, and whipworm infections. Treatment with fewer than 3 monthly doses after exposure to mosquitoes may not provide complete heartworm prevention. The most common adverse reactions were vomiting, depression, and itching. Serious adverse reactions have been reported following concurrent extra-label use of ivermectin with spinosad, one of the components of Trifexis. Prior to administration, dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection. You'll take it all, the good and the bad, because that's what makes your relationship irreplaceable. Protect your dog all year long with the 3-in-1 power of Trifexis, available by prescription only. Talk to your veterinarian about how to protect every second you share together.
The garden is the story of our lives, told and retold. It's as old as our time on Earth, and as new as tomorrow. You can have a yard, or slightly less. Gardening isn't about where we choose to live. It's about how we choose to live. Miracle-Gro. Life starts here.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only.
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials helped me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-855-305-2053 now.
This Sunday, extreme weather of biblical proportions.
The gates of hell are opening up, and this is the entry to it.
Top 10 Bible weather, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event, now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
It's time to take command of any adventure with the fastest growing automotive luxury brand on the road. There's never been a better time to drive a Lexus during the Command Performance Sales Event. Get great offers on your favorite Lexus models now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
Time to get up. A woman's body changes over 500 times a day, which can cause odor. So Secret Clinical Strength tracked Christy Bruce's ups and downs for a day.
Oh, no, just do one each minute.
Get some, I'm going to work now. Secret Clinical Strength has adapts and response technology for customized protection that adapts to your body. So no matter what's going on inside, you can be fearless outside.
It's time to experience what's made Lexus the fastest growing automotive luxury brand on the road. There's never been a better time to drive a Lexus during the Command Performance Sales Event. Get great offers on your favorite Lexus models now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees with light rain. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Scenes like this happening all across the northern half of the country this week. Massive chunks of ice clogging up waterways. Oh, look at this. This is Cheat Lake in northeastern West Virginia, and ice jams like this pose a serious flooding threat.
Especially in some of the streams and the rivers. Let's talk about right now here in the lab exactly what happens and why ice jams can be such a danger.
A danger, for sure. I mean, you know, of course you're starting to get snow melt as well, but it takes a while for that snow to melt. So the ice starts to break up on the rivers or streams
it happens
or
when
lakes
when it
too.
thaws.
Right, when it starts to thaw, and they start moving around. And the problem is that those ice chunks are going to flow basically, and when it starts raining, the runoff
puts even more water into the river. You get melting snow, and that gets things moving. So they're all going downstream now.
A lot more water is going into these rivers here, and it's a combination of things going on, all pushing the ice. And you saw all the debris on Cheat Lake combined with the big ice chunks.
You can get logs and branches.
Yeah.
So essentially what happens is you can find a bend or some point where it starts to collect, and it dams up. It becomes a dam made of ice. It's an ice dam. Water pools up behind it, and then a couple of things can happen. It's going to push that water around somewhere else into a neighborhood, or it all builds up and then it releases.
Right, and that's
you have a big flood.
Big time flooding issues. Right. So we've been talking about this ice jam concern, and Reagan Medji is seeing some issues firsthand. She is live near the Delaware River in I practiced this a million times in New Jersey, right? But I practiced this, and she sent me the pronouncer.
She did, and thank you for doing that too, Reagan. We appreciate it. But where exactly are you?
Okay, so all these odd names, they're Native American names. So it's Kittatinny Point here in the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. We're right on the border in the Pocono Mountains of New Jersey. We're on the New Jersey side and Pennsylvania. So that's where we're at now. And you guys were talking about the ice jams. I do want to make mention it is not jamming here, yet. Okay, so we're on the Delaware River, and I'm standing on what would be the river. It was melted. This is only 3 feet, but it's all solid ice. That's why I'm okay to stand here. I'm with the park officials behind us right now. They're monitoring this just so I don't get in trouble. Now, if you go out further, you're going to see that it's ponding. This is all the Delaware River, and believe it or not, the National Park Service say that this is the most ice that has ever happened here at the Delaware River for 20 years. Now, the ice thickness goes from 18 inches to 3 feet. Now, let's look at all the way over this way, and you can see some ice fishermen. Not the greatest thing to do right now because especially it's starting to thaw out a little bit, and I'll get into that next. Now, if we look over here, some cracks, and you can see the line of the snow. What's happening is that, it's a natural rise and fall of the river, and with the thawing, the ice is starting to shift a little bit. That shifting is what the park officials are monitoring every day, twice a day, to see, is the ice moving? Is it shifting? How quickly? How far? But all eyes are also on the weather. Everything's cooperating right now because although it's thawing during the day, it's cold at night. So right now we're just looking at the river. Of course, there's a lot more details. Guys, back to you.
Reagan, you talk about the ice fishermen back there and the dangers of this time of year when we really don't know how thick the ice is. Is there any kind of warning about for people who want to come out on the ice like that about how thick the ice is or isn't?
Okay, so this is a tricky question and a tricky answer. So the National Park Service can advise people to be careful on the ice, much like the state police in New Jersey. Don't trust the ice is the bottom line. Now, the fishermen that you look out there, you can see that they have gone out, and here the thickness, according to them, and they are the officials here on this particular patch of ice, they say, it could be anywhere between, a couple of feet thick, and they're basically safe at this area. But that can change because what happens is if they go out there during the day, stay longer, it's all going to get thawed out, and then they're going to be stranded, and that becomes a rescue effort. So at this point, we're looking at the Delaware River. No jams, but monitoring every step of the way.
Thank you, Reagan.
Much more after the break.
Let's do this. It's asleep. So let's wake it up with the most important meal of the year. Let's get the right recipe, the right ingredients, right in our budget. Then, let's get out there and cook ourselves up a big old plate of spring. Let's do this. Kill weeds and bugs and get 25% off with Ortho or Roundup. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Captain's log, day of departure. After a short time at sea, our crew seems to be settling in. Earlier, a small mutiny broke out, but I put it to rest. The sailing got a little rough, but nothing we couldn't handle. And after a small distraction on the upper deck, the Admiral spirited me away for some quality time. All in all, another fine day at sea.
Disney Cruise Line. When it comes to pleasing everyone, the difference is Disney.
Hey, pal. You ready? Can you pick me up at 6:30?
I'm here.
Too late.
I'll go for 5 minutes. Move it. Killing me. You know what, Dad? I'm good.
It may be quite a while before he's ready, but our Subaru Legacy will be waiting for him.
The longest-lasting midsize sedan in its class, the 2015 Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got this. Oh, no, I'll get it. Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this. It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Get an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-788-0900 now.
Here we go. Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip.
Okay.
Now that's a leak.
That is a leak.
And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-788-0900 now. And if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 45%.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call a local Allstate agent today.
My husband said, "You're beautiful and I love you, but I'm worried about your health and your weight. I'm worried we're going to lose you." That was my moment.
When your moment comes, you can count, track, and worry over every meal. Or you can lose weight simply. with Jenny Craig. Just walk in or call. Meet your dedicated personal consultant who helps you reach your goals. Pick out delicious food and start losing now. Visit JennyCraig.com for our best offer ever.
A moment can change your whole life with Jenny Craig.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees with light rain. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This Sunday, extreme weather of biblical proportions.
The gates of hell are opening up, and this is the entry to it.
Top 10 Bible weather, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
The roof of a vacant building collapsed Tuesday afternoon in Weymouth, Massachusetts. This is about 20 miles south of Boston.
Firefighters responding to the scene found heavy snow caused about a 50-foot by 50-foot section of the roof to come down, and fortunately no one was injured in this.
And thanks for staying with us on Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Chris Warren. A lot going on. Temperature, a big story after a very cold and snowy winter. Also coming up, we're going to talk to Dr. Greg Postel about how a tropical cyclone in a different part of the world can have an impact on our weather here.
It is fascinating. We've been talking a lot too this morning about fog, and we're continuing to follow the fog here right along the Gulf Coast. Now, a news story that we're continuing to follow for you is that fog could be to blame for an Army National Guard helicopter that crashed last night near Eglin Air Force Base. 4 crew members and 7 Marines were aboard the chopper.
We understand search teams have found human remains and crash debris near Navarre, Florida. The crash happened during night training that started out of Hammond, Louisiana. The Black Hawk was flying in very thick fog and low visibility.
It was a 2-ship formation. There were 2 helicopters flying over the Gulf during this exercise at about 8:30 last night, when we're told that they encountered very heavy fog and a very low ceiling. And when you're talking about flying in those kinds of conditions, pilots often lose their perspective. They lose their situational awareness. And it's quite possible, according to officials, that the helicopter accidentally just plunged right into the water.
An Army National Guard helicopter did crash during foggy conditions last night near the Florida Panhandle. 11 people were on board. We do want to get the latest. Sarah Vadoni is the spokesperson for Eglin Air Force Base, and she joined us now on the phone. Sarah, thank you for being here. First of all, can you just update us on the status of the situation as you know it right now?
Sure. Search and rescue crews do remain on scene. Heavy fog did have a pretty large impact on their efforts this morning. Looking out my window, it does look like some of the fog is lifting at this point, so hopefully that will continue to help them in their efforts. Multiple agencies are on scene, and that includes the Coast Guard, who have secured the waterways as they continue the mission.
Can you confirm casualties from this incident?
We can't confirm any casualties at this point. We do know that human remains have washed up on shore, but the number of remains and identity has not been released at this time. And again, it's very important to know that this is still considered an active search and rescue mission.
The area that you are working on, the search and rescue mission, is this a part of the military base area, or is this an area accessible to the public?
Sure, it is a military area, so we have what's called it's considered range site A-17, which is part of our military beach area that is used for test and training missions. It is just east of Navarre, Florida, and it looks as though most of the search and rescue efforts are contained to the sound side of this beach area as they continue their mission.
Can you confirm how many helicopters were actually part of this training exercise?
There were 2 aircraft that were participating in the training exercise overnight. The second helicopter and its personnel on board have returned and landed safely, and they are all accounted for at this time. They did take off from what it was a small regional airport called the Destin Airport here in Florida.
We're actually, Sarah, looking right now at some live video right out of Navarre, Florida, and we actually see still a decent amount of fog in the region. Is this fog going to continue to hamper efforts today?
You know, obviously visibility is important during search and rescue efforts, so you know, the sooner the fog dissipates, it will make things easier for those first responders.
Well, Sarah Vidoni from Eglin Air Force Base, thank you for joining us with the update this morning. We do want to look at the fog in the area right now across that region. Still visibilities are reduced. In Mobile, we're at a half mile. Pensacola, a quarter of a mile, and it's right in between there where Eglin Air Force Base and that A-17 area is. We've had dense fog advisories through the morning. Most of these extend for about another hour or so that we are going to monitor the fog situation, improving somewhat after that. Chris.
And Jen, we know most of the South we were showing there will be warm in the coming days, but parts of the South eventually will be cooler than parts of the Midwest. In fact, parts of the upper Midwest. Take a look at this. This is the next few days in Minneapolis and a look at Atlanta. So you see temperatures in the 50s and 60s here. In Atlanta, what you might expect, 70s and 60s, warmer than it is in Minneapolis. But then look at this, 53 degrees here in Atlanta by Friday, and that's even cooler than today's temperature in Minneapolis. So or tomorrow's temperature, today's Wednesday, today's temperature in Minneapolis. So here's what's going on. First, you see this right here? Do you see that little blue right there? These are the Appalachian Mountains, okay? It is not just that, but these do play a role in what is going to happen. It's the airflow, okay? We're looking at temperatures in the 70s here, but now watch these streams showing us the direction the air is going. You're seeing it move around. What happens is when you have this high pressure here and the air comes around, it gets essentially dammed up against the Appalachian Mountains. And what happens is you end up with low clouds and much cooler temperatures. You don't get that sunshine through and you have that cool air in place. So that's why you're looking at overnight Friday through the day on Friday, overnight Thursday into Friday. We're going to see temperatures into the 40s and 50s. Atlanta, look at this. Your daytime high temperature on Friday because of what we call the wedge, that cold air damming up against the Appalachians. Temperatures are going to be much, much cooler. Cooler, guys, than the upper Midwest.
And Chris Warren, that is why Greg and I are writing a book on There Is Nothing Good About the East Wind. That was exactly it right there. All right, Greg, let's switch gears a little bit, but talk about how we're all connected around the globe.
We are all connected. It's a small world. The CPC's forecast for week 2, 8 to 14 days out, does suggest there are higher than average chances of seeing below normal temperatures in the east. Let's have a look at the map. There it is very likely to be below average. This map doesn't say how much below. It could be just a little bit, but the idea is that if there's going to be below, it's probably going to happen right up in there.
Okay, we want spring to stay. It may not. So we ask what goes into making that forecast?
Well, Jen, being all connected, it does have something to do with the tropical Pacific and the thunderstorm activity that's out there. And that's always the case. I mean, we're always sort of seeing that connection. But right now, we've got a particularly robust one, right, where we have the jet stream you can see coming in from the southwest into the U.S. This is helping actually it be pretty mild for now across the U.S. But what's going to happen when this envelope of thunderstorm activity and tropical heating in the mid-altitudes moves around a little bit in the tropics, moves from way out here in the West Pacific and begins to roll in that direction? All right,
just to give perspective, there's Australia, there's a big tropical cyclone right now, the name is Pam, but we've got a couple of areas of big convection or thunderstorm activity blowing up here.
That's right, and those areas in the ensemble are all beginning to impact the jet stream. We're starting to see it a little bit now, which I pointed out earlier, but they're also beginning to impact it out here in a way. This is the high altitude flow coming outside of that envelope of thunderstorms.
So it's not any one area, it's all of it combined.
It's all of it combined, and that 100-mile-per-hour jet stream wind is helping push things along and keeping it mild for now and this weekend, we think. If you were just to isolate encapsulate the contribution from the tropical thunderstorm activity right here, you might think, okay, this is what the pattern should look like. And in fact, it is part of what we're seeing right now. And if you were to go ahead over the next 8 to 14 days, if you were just to look at the contribution from the tropical heating, you would see a dip out here, jet stream like this, and like that, and like that. And you know what? That may be a little more than a tiny amount of why CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, is going for some cooler than average temperatures in the Northeast.
Fascinating. Greg, thank you.
I'll try to.
Chris.
All right, guys, we do know that time is running out in California's wet season, but we are watching one last gasp in March for rain. We're seeing rain right now. Even now, as a 4th straight year of drought conditions is imminent.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum, and another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
Before Chris Hadfield, before Sally Ride, we turned ordinary people into heroes. Shake hands with a hero at Astronaut Encounter, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get a standard brake service for $89.99 after a $20 online rebate at Firestone Complete Auto. Drive a Firestone.
Shelley, how'd you come to find the biggest liquid gold mine in the state?
I was shopping for provisions.
Yeah?
And that's when I saw it.
What'd you see, Shelley?
Boxes and boxes of Belvedere shells and cheese stacked clear to the ceiling.
Can we go look at it, Shelley?
Yeah, it's right over here. Oh! There's gold in them there shells. Liquid gold.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Delta Intuition Chrome Shower Head for just $39 at Lowe's.
I Sverige är vi kända för att köra världens säkraste bilar. Som ibland innebär ett svårt val. Som att köra en bil tillverkad i Amerika?
No. Introducing the new all-wheel drive Chrysler 200, America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
Welcome back. Big news from Beverly Hills. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orden has discovered an anti-aging breakthrough called Fill and Freeze. And he's giving away 1 million bottles free.
I've spent nearly 30 years looking for an effective, instant breakthrough to reduce the appearance of wrinkles that can be applied topically instead of with surgery or invasive medical techniques. And I finally found it with Derm Exclusives Fill and Freeze.
Wow, I'm young again. I don't feel like an old lady. The lines are gone.
Oh my God, wow. I can't believe it. It looks really good. It gives you a whole new confidence.
It definitely took 10 years off. If I went to a dermatologist here in the city, I would pay $300-400 for this.
I know you're wondering what Derm Exclusive can do for you. Well, you don't have to wonder. You can order it right now and try it for yourself absolutely risk-free. And here's how.
Call now during this special direct-to-consumer offer and you won't pay $120. Today, you can get your own instant results with Fill and Freeze for only $59. But that's not all. Today, we're taking another $20 off, so now you can get this instant wrinkle-removing miracle for the low price of only $39.95. And as part of our 1 million bottle giveaway, Dr. Orden is including a second $60 bottle of Fill and Freeze free. That's nearly $120 of Fill and Freeze for only $39.95. Dr. Orden will even include his MicroPure resurfacing pads, intensive repair serum, and collagen lift moisturizer, a $200 value free. Order now and we'll even upgrade your order to express delivery. That's a $15 value free. Plus, you even get to try it risk-free for 30 days with our money-back guarantee. But you must call to order. Call 1-800-730-7432. That's 1-800-730-7432. Order now.
This is Weather Center Live, and this is a live look at the Bay Area. That is the Golden Gate Bridge here in San Francisco. We're looking to the north here up at Marin County. So all these cars that you're seeing heading at you are heading into the city. And it's 56 degrees right now and way behind when it comes to rain on the year, about 7.4 inches below average rain that will fall here in California. Jen?
Unfortunately, Chris, it's going to be drops today that they're counting there in Marin County and in San Francisco in the Bay Area. We are looking at some rain moving into the west here, but it's not going to be a March miracle, and I'm going to talk about that. Let's look at Sacramento in California and your average monthly rainfall. We look over the course of the year, and we know our rainy season is in the winter, and especially December through March, and you see what happens from March to April. It really steps off, and it big time steps off as you get into the summer months when we pretty much don't get any rain in the Central Valley of California. So let's take a look at Sacramento, and I want to go back to the year 1991 because when we compare big drought years, we look back to 1977 and we look back to the drought ending in 1991. And in 1991, they had what they called a March miracle. Look at this. They got 6 inches of rain in Sacramento. As we take a look at what we are seeing the past February, here we go. We've got some rain out there right now. So February, we got just shy of 3 inches of rain in Sacramento, not quite average. We have rain out there right now. In fact, it's falling in Sacramento. It's falling across the valley, and we're seeing some snow that we're expecting today up above about 7,500 feet. So, Chris, as we look at the rain coming on, and it's needed, I don't think, though, this is going to be a March miracle because we've got some chances of rain today, and after that, it's a pretty dry pattern.
Jenna, I want to pick up on what you're talking about and show you another example of the rainfall throughout the year. So here's July, August, September, getting into the rain year now, October into December, January, February. This is for San Francisco. You see the big green here, but keep in mind, this is a relative graph here because this is not a lot of rain. I mean, you're looking at just a little bit more than 4 inches for each month. You can get 4 inches in parts of Florida in the afternoon in a heavy downpour too. So you're not looking at a lot of rain, but then just see it just drop off as you get now into April, and then here's May and June. It is completely dry. If it rains in San Francisco and south, it's a news story there. I can tell you from firsthand experience, it's a big deal if you get rain during the summertime in California. Similar story in Sacramento. You have this peak, but now it's more over 3 inches of rain and then drops way off getting into the summer as well. So Sacramento, and looking at that 91 year that Jen was talking about, and the 2015, the rain totals. So 91, you had a big makeup in March. Right here in March, you had that big makeup of rain. But this year, I mean, we're just a trace and then almost 3 inches here in February. And so far, not anywhere near a miracle March for Sacramento. Let's go ahead right now and take a look at one spot that is dry pretty much year round. This is a look at the Strip, Las Vegas. It's going to warm up today, upper 50s right now, but temperatures are going to be back into the 70s. And your average this time of year, right around 70 degrees. So talking about some heat though, Jen, some desert-like heat in Los Angeles expected.
Oh, so we're heating up big time, well above average. In fact, getting to record levels towards the end of the weekend. Sunday's a big day in LA because we've got the LA Marathon going on.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, too hot.
Sunday, no doubt about that. It is going to be very warm.
They've actually moved up the time. They're starting it early.
Like a half an hour earlier, right? And so here it is. Today, 70 degrees in Los Angeles. About what you might expect, a little bit warmer than average. And then, boom, 17 degrees warmer than average in Los Angeles. Phoenix close to 90.
Yeah, so they typically see their first 90 to closer to the end of March. But we've got a chance. We'll come close to it by the end of this week.
So, also, could break some records. Los Angeles, Long Beach could tie it, and Burns, Oregon, Portland, Oregon. So the Pacific Northwest feeling the heat as well, Jen.
All right, well, coming up, we've got the transition from winter to spring. Can be a rocky one.
Also, we go in depth on the big thaw and the hidden dangers behind it as the snow melts.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're going to give those same kids Bush's baked beans. And finally, we're going to tell them that Bush's baked beans are actually a vegetable.
Ixnay on the vegetable bay.
Oh, right. Bush's secret family recipe gives them a delicious flavor, so they're a vegetable that kids actually like.
Bush's baked beans, the vegetable that kids love.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. Now available over the counter in full prescription strength. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6. And 6 is greater than 1. Flonase, the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 allergy pill. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked?
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency. Oh my God!
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies, low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, buy 1 pair and get another free. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
People that would do anything for golf deserve a store that would do anything for golfers. Visit Golfsmith for the largest selection and guaranteed lowest prices. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
Need an oil change? Right now at Pep Boys, get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX oil and a Purelator Classic filter for only $22.99. Or let the boys do it for you with a full-service conventional oil change for just $24.99 with coupon. Trust the boys to get you there.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
from your day can haunt you at night. Don't let it. Advil PM gives you the healing sleep you need, helping you fall asleep and stay asleep so your body can heal as you rest. Advil PM for a heal.
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials helped me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-855-305-2053 now.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Right now, a little bit past 50 past the hour. Dr. Greg Postel here. I'm Chris Warren with Jen Carfano. Time for the winter weather update. A lot of people want to know, Jen, was Phil right?
Oh, he's always right. It's just about the interpretation when it comes to, making a groundhog forecast. We don't speak groundhogese, Chris.
So he's always right. How do you know he's always right if we can't hear what the groundhog's saying?
Well, okay, so here, let's talk about Pittsburgh, who finally got rid of their snow for the first time, really, this year. They finally are snow-free. So, Greg Postel, the question is, how much...
No, let's not get off this Phil thing yet.
No, it's all related. How much winter is left in us?
Well,
because of this.
Look at this.
You were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And your friends in Punxsutawney.
Look at that.
Have a sign that say...
The 6 weeks are almost up. It says the 6 weeks are almost up if Phil was right. Right? That's right.
This is not the real inner circle, is it?
You see that? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, the question is, right, how much more snow are they going to get in the Northeast? Let's have a look on average. If you were to say, like, okay, throughout what we've seen so far this winter, how much more can you expect on a typical season at some of these cities? Pittsburgh being one of them. And there is quite a bit more snow to come. If you look at this, Cleveland on average can expect almost 11 more inches of snow. And play that same game for the cities. You get a sense that, you know what, we're not done yet. We're not out of the woods, even though we've got a thaw right now. Look at Buffalo. 10 more inches on average are expected. In Boston, 6. So where could this winter weather come from this time around? You think maybe this weekend we got a shot at it? Because if you look at it, we're going to have a storm system developing in the Ohio Valley. And the question is there going to be development off the coast and bring some snow into New England or any other city for that matter, Saturday or Sunday? It doesn't really look like there's a good shot on Saturday. You can see most of the snow forecast will be up there in far northern parts of Maine. Saturday night, kind of the same thing, but the trick is on Sunday, guys. Some of the models are bringing some significant snow to eastern New England, including Boston, Hartford, Providence, and every wonderful little town in eastern New England. That would be Sunday night. So we'll have to see, and we'll talk about that coming up at the top of the hour. Could be interesting stuff.
It does actually snow in spring, too. So here's the thing.
It can snow in May.
6 weeks of winter is sort of arbitrary.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. People want to say, well, spring going to come early. Spring happens about the same time every year.
That's
it's just
right.
if your spring conditions are going to come early.
Well, as we find out in this edition of Brainstorm, it can be at times destructive and dangerous. Learn more.
During the brutal cold of winter months, particularly in high elevations and northern latitudes, the temperature of the soil can drop below 32 degrees, several inches below the surface. As a result, water inside the soil and even inside rocks can turn to ice, freezing the ground solid. But as spring approaches, days get longer and temperatures rise. Sunlight begins to warm up that frozen earth. The soil thaws, and its top layer finally warms up to about 55 degrees. New plants can then germinate, and crops can be planted. But as the earth awakens, hidden threats can also spring to life. Remember during the winter with the water freezing in the soil? Well, that causes the ground to swell by as much as 10%. So when that ice melts during the spring thaw, the soil shrinks back. But the added moisture doesn't run off quickly, resulting in ground that's saturated. It can be more than 60% softer than during the summer months. This can cause paved roads to buckle, opening hazardous potholes. The ice covering rivers and streams begins to break up as well into ice floes. And that can create jams several miles long and sometimes over 10 feet high, higher than the top of a stop sign. These ice jams can cause floods by forcing a river to back up. And in a very short time, the river can rise as much as 10 feet above established flood level. And now you've been brainstormed. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
And really, that can happen now for weeks to come.
Yeah, we're going to be in this year pattern. So we'll talk more about it. We're back at the top of the hour, 60 seconds more on the spring thaw.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 73. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Chris Warren.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. The big thaw is still on for much of the country. Our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postella, is here with us in the lab to talk about this nice break we're getting from winter weather, but if it's really a break that's going to last.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you are. I mean, I think it is going to last for a while in much of the central and western U.S. The question is, how about the Northeast? The places that have been so cold, is this thaw going to stick around? We'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
What else we've been seeing stick around, another byproduct of this big thaw, and that's the fog, especially in the overnight and morning hours. Foggy conditions led to several serious accidents in Indiana overnight. Indiana State Police say at least 2 people are dead and several injured after several accidents along the highway. And fog could be to blame for a military helicopter crash last night off the coast of Florida. And here's what we know right now. Search teams have found human remains and crashed debris near Eglin Air Force Base in the Florida Panhandle. The accident happened during night training that originated out of Hammond, Louisiana. The Black Hawk was flying in thick fog and low visibility. 4 crew members and 7 Marines were aboard the chopper. The cause of the crash is still being investigated. And here's a statement coming from the Department of Defense on the helicopter crash. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and their families as the search and rescue operation continues. That's from the Secretary of Defense, Ashton B. Carter. Jen?
Chris, thank you for that. We do still have fog right there along the Gulf Coast this morning. We also have widespread fog throughout much of the southeast up into the Tennessee Valley and all the way up through the Ohio Valley. Look at where we started this morning. This was your 5 a.m. fog where we had an 1/8 of a mile visibility in Indianapolis. Some of the kids are just now going into school because we had fog delays there. We had some fog delays around the Baltimore area as well for schools, but we've seen a big improvement in fog in southeastern Pennsylvania, Maryland, also in parts of Virginia. Still fog in Indy, but we're up to 1/4 of a mile. So actually a big improvement compared to where we were earlier this morning. And Cleveland, you're seeing improvement as well. We still have dense fog advisories. They're going to be lifted soon. But we look at New Orleans. We are socked in at a 1/16 of a mile with fog. Very soupy down here. We've got winds actually coming from the south, bringing in a lot of Gulf moisture. Mobile, we're up to 3 miles, but I bet right along the coast you still see that fog. It's pretty thick out there. Watertown temperatures are in the low 60s, air temperatures are in the 60s, and your dew points are in the 60s as well. So you're basically just in a very saturated air mass down here, and I bet you feel very soupy if you're outside today into parts of the south. Chris.
We've also been seeing, Jen, some fog in parts of the Midwest where it is cold still. Indianapolis 39, 38 in Cleveland. But let's take a look right now at Indianapolis. In fact, we have a live shot we can show you right here. This is a tower cam here looking down. Looks like a road and a parking lot. Those cars don't look too far away, but just looking at how fuzzy and blurry this picture is, you can really tell that fog is on the thick side here in Indianapolis. So let's take another look at some of these temperatures. We're calling them mild temperatures. If you live in the south, 30s are going to feel cold to you, but this time of year, if you're above the freezing mark in the north, this is relatively mild. You're looking at upper 30s right now for Fargo, Minneapolis, and Marquette, Michigan. Highs today close to record, if not tying a record. Fargo, North Dakota, 59 degrees. That's the forecast, and that is the standing record set in 1981. So expecting to tie that record, getting close in a few other cities here. And look at all of this orange here. The orange and the yellow, those are your warmer temperatures. You get in the reds and you're talking hot. Dodge City, 20 degrees warmer than average. Tomorrow, that big thaw still underway in Minneapolis. Friday, 60, still hanging around. So you're definitely going to be feeling some spring weather, spring fever, probably being caught by a lot of people here in the Midwest right on through Friday. Chicago getting close to that 60-degree mark on Thursday and Friday. The last time you had 60 degrees or warmer was in November 10th. Jen and Dr. Postel, over to you guys.
I can't wait. All right, so Northeast too actually is fairly warm today, Greg, and there's spots that are going to be as warm as we were on Christmas, which happen to be pretty warm in places like New York City.
Yeah, 60 in New York, 50 in Boston, looking pretty good. That's above average across the board in the Northeast and the Ohio Valley. Things cool down a little bit tomorrow. If you look at some of the numbers that come down in Burlington, Vermont, for example, Boston, you're back down below average. But south of the New York City to Detroit line, it's going to be above, and it's probably going to stick around that way for at least several days. But the weekend.
Yeah, so we go from temperatures to we bring in the rain that we've been tracking across the south. Eventually this gets into the Northeast, Greg, and we have to worry about any spots that are cold. Will we see any snow?
Yes, I think there's a shot at that happening on Saturday, really in the higher elevations of northern New England. You have that sort of mix there in parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, but then the snow reserved for more of northern Maine. Saturday night, this is kind of still a warm-ish system, so Boston, you'll likely be rain, and northern New England, kind of a mix even. But Sunday and Sunday night, Jen, let's talk about this because this is a real trick. Some of the models are bringing some, maybe even some snow to eastern New England.
All right, so, you know, places like Maine where we're really cold, it's not surprising us. But in places where we're feeling a little bit of spring fever, we're questioning, is this really going to happen?
Yes, and one of the models that came out last night, the GFS model, which was valid for Sunday night and early Monday morning, has a pretty strong low pressure system here and a lot of cold air coming in on the backside. This blue color here, Jen, you and I were talking about, is some cold air coming back into the Northeast, and it's also at the same time trying to throw some moisture back up into that cold air. So that could be something to watch to see if there's coastal low development.
So on this map, you've got the bluish color for where the cold air is, and there's plenty of cold air, and then the green indicates where the moisture is. So where the two intersect would bring us some wintry weather.
Right.
That's one model.
That's one model, and that's a really good point because the jet stream position from that GFS, which is the snowy-ish scenario for eastern New England, looks like that. But then you have to ask yourself the question, how confident are you in that? Is there other solutions, other models doing the same thing? Some are, but I just want to point out, as you accurately did so, the Euro, Jen, look what it does.
It's a little different.
Yes, that's the Euro. And remember, the GFS is like this, right? The GFS has that trough hugging the coast like that. The Euro is much farther out to sea and does not have that snow for the Northeast. So there's a lot of uncertainty here, but stay tuned for the latest. If I were to hedge, I would say probably less likely than likely to see snow.
But a chance, not enough to write it off yet.
Right.
Okay, great, thank you. Chris, over to you.
Coming up, this morning's tragic story, an Army chopper crash in Florida, and thick fog possibly a factor.
Back support. If you need it, you know it. Introducing CopperFit Back Pro, the ultimate copper-infused compression garment for maximum lower back muscle support.
I played 20 years in the National Football League. No one took a beating like I did. As soon as I put on CopperFit, I could feel the support. Oh, yeah. This feels good.
Designed to provide everyday support, comfort, and relief for lower back muscles.
As soon as I put it on, I felt an immediate change. The support was amazing.
I'll put it on and almost instantly it just makes it go away. It's like magic.
I'm more mobile. I get to move around better.
I feel like I can just do whatever I want, whenever I want, as fast as I want.
Keeps all those muscles back there relaxed.
I've had more energy. My kids can't keep up with me now.
High-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper.
Hey, I pushed this belt to the max, and it's performed at the highest level. I put it through everything but getting hit. Oh, no, you don't. And it passed the test. Oh, man, I still got it. It feels great, you know. I'm able to do all the things I've done before. Where was this when I was playing in the National Football League?
A slick, form-fit design for greater mobility creates a perfect fit for any size body.
I was a little skeptical, but once I put it on and wore it, then I saw the results.
When you can't do the things that you imagine, it starts to get frustrating and depressing, and now this is giving me a new confidence.
Call 1-800-671-7507 or on the web at copperfitback.com. For only $19.99, you'll receive one lightweight back belt form fit for your size and comfort. Order right now, and your shipping is free.
There's no reason to torture yourself. Put the product on, give it a try, you're going to feel better.
Look, if you want the power to stay active, then you want CopperFit.
Experience the relief of compression support. Feel the power of CopperFit Back.
Hello, America, and good morning. Temperatures this weekend will reach into the 70s.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Low 73. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This Sunday, extreme weather of biblical proportions.
The gates of hell are opening up, and this is the entry to it.
Top 10 Bible weather, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 hertz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
Occasional constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating?
Yes.
One Phillips Colon Health probiotic cap each day helps defend against these occasional digestive issues with 3 types of good bacteria. Live the regular life. Phillips.
You again.
Gorilla Glue. Of course. Water activated. Original Gorilla Glue expands into the materials to form an incredibly strong bond for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
This is Weather Center Live, and this is a live look at still some foggy conditions outside of Navarre, Florida, in Navarre, Florida, at 67 degrees right now. And we're looking at this because not too far away, an Army National Guard helicopter crashed during foggy conditions last night. It happened near the Florida Panhandle, and 11 people were on board.
A spokesperson for Eglin Air Force Base spoke to the media a short time ago.
There are search and rescue operations going on right now in the Navarre Sound, and we have some casualties, and search and rescue is still going on.
When you say casualties, can you confirm that there are fatalities involved in this crash?
Yes, there are.
The Pentagon has issued an alert saying what is happening as far as search? We've heard reports of debris washing up on the beach. What's going on right now?
Yes, we have found some debris from the aircraft. The fog is obviously hampering the recovery efforts, and that's where we're at right now.
What are you out there with? Are you out with choppers or boats, or can you tell us kind of what kind of devices you have?
We've got boats in the water right now, and as far as the other equipment, I'll have to find out and get back to you. But I do know we got boats in the water.
And you mentioned that there's a search and rescue operation. Is there still any hope for survivors of this?
There's always hope. An aircraft accident investigation is undergoing right now, so we won't be able to determine that until they're complete with the investigation.
And again, this might be early to tell, but say, whose order is it to go up in fog or something like that?
Well, they train how they would fight, so they would train in this type of environment.
Even in very heavy fog?
They train as they fight.
We did look at observations from Eglin Air Force Base last night, and visibility had dropped to about a half mile at the base. What we're dealing with right now here is that we still have dense fog advisories and real thick fog in New Orleans right now, 1/16 of a mile at the airport there. But Chris, these dense fog advisories have now been extended until 2 o'clock this afternoon.
And commenting on what the spokesperson just said, they train how they fight. So they may have to fight in any condition. So they're going to train in any condition, right? And ultimately it can be dangerous, but ultimately the idea is if they're now having to add battle into that, they're prepared for it.
Yeah, and right? You could, I mean, it's certainly the fog is affecting the operation this morning as they continue their search and rescue. We have the thick fog, as you can see in Navarre right now. You look at some of those billboards out there in the distance, and
you can't really see them.
You can't really see them.
They're there, but you don't know what they say.
You can see the outline.
All right, and that fog's going to hang around. We understand the National Weather Service saying there's an advisory in effect until this afternoon, until 2 o'clock, and we're seeing those visibilities down, up a little bit more in some spots, and that's the thing with fog. It can ebb and flow, if you will. So it can lift in some areas, dissipate in others, and then just be socked in. And a lot plays into this. Temperature changes, wind patterns.
It's going to be a very humid day. The water temperature in the 60s, air temperature has been starting the day in the 60s, and dew points are up in the 60s as well. So it's very humid out there. Eventually, this is going to give way to some rain in the area.
Not much rain right now. A few showers just to the northeast of Slidell. Otherwise, looking up into Alabama, now parts of Georgia, seeing some of that rain moving through, and a little bit heavier rain here just north of Montgomery and about to move into Montgomery, Alabama.
The story in the southeast is that we've got a couple of days of rain chances, and today you've got that thin line of showers out there, right? We're going to see more, though, as we get you into tomorrow and the next day. Another surge of moisture comes back up. Places like New Orleans, you're under a flash flood watch through Friday.
Yeah, and then you see here on Friday that chance for rain also getting all the way to the Atlantic. That includes South Carolina, North Carolina, and then a messy situation all the way up the East Coast.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of days of rain to talk about, and this next storm system is going to stay with us into the weekend. At least through tomorrow, we're expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain here right along the Gulf Coast, including in southern Louisiana.
And for you in Atlanta, again, we're talking about that cool down here. Temperatures dropping down in the lower 50s. It's going to be one of those cloudy, socked in kind of feeling
east wind
days,
kind of days. I know you're going to have more little special segment on that coming up here in about 20 minutes.
Also, the big thaw producing another byproduct that can be dangerous. Ice jam.
Big chunks of ice that block rivers and creeks, causing localized flooding and bridge damage.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
This program brought to you by Theraflu, serious power.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need Safelite to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh yeah, we can fix that. Only Safelite can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind True Seal technology for a reliable bond.
Thanks so much.
Service that fits your schedule. Hey. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
So you're saying you're gonna give me my credit score for free, right? And then you're gonna ask me for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low. 2 weeks later, look, Credit Karma.
Oh, are you talking to websites again?
It's saying free credit score.
Credit Karma? Yeah, it's actually free. Look, you don't have to put in your credit card information. Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really, free.
Fist bump.
English credit.
respected for thousands of years.
I'm asking Parliament to abolish the monarchy.
What does that mean, exactly?
We are not a normal family.
The Royals, Sunday at 10.
What if you could grab the sun and pass its energy on to others? It's what we do at FPL. Our solar energy centers grab the sun, turn it into electricity, and we pass it on to you. And now, as the official solar energy provider of the Miami ePre, we're proud to deliver the first ever U.S. solar electric charge to Formula E vehicles.
Thanks for the boost, FPL.
To join us on race day, go to fpl.com/Miami ePre for ticket information. At FPL, we're changing the current.
Did you know that while you're going about your day, your immune system is fighting for you? Inside your body, your immune system is a tiny special ops team preparing for a highly coordinated mission. But sometimes it gets tough in there. So give your immune system our most powerful boost yet. New Airborne Dual Action. An awesome fusion of antioxidants. Plus new beta immune boosters clinically proven to boost your immune system. So get new Airborne Dual Action, our most powerful immune boost yet.
This March, one man's trash did the work is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event, now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
It's time to command track-tested precision with the fastest-growing automotive luxury brand on the road during the Command Performance Sales Event. Lease the 2015 GS350F Sport with complimentary navigation system for these terms and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste as much energy as leaving a window open in your home all year long. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. When you buy 2 rooms of windows, you'll get the 3rd room free. Call today because every home needs a champion.
It's time to take command of any adventure with the fastest-growing automotive luxury brand on the road. During the Command Performance Sales Event, get great offers on your favorite Lexus models, now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Low 73. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Scenes like this happening across the northern half of the country this week. Massive chunks of ice clogging up waterways. This is Cheat Lake in northeastern West Virginia, and ice jams like these pose a serious flooding threat.
They do, certainly, and look at all the debris in the water. It looks like debris. You get the ice chunks going along, and the water pushes that into objects, and if it's a dock, it can break the dock. That's possible. I mean, the water just goes around it, but the ice can't, right?
Water is powerful. Ice is heavy and powerful,
right, and you have
when it's moving.
The water's force behind it. And then if that happens, if you get chunks of dock or wood or whatever going down, that adds more to what's in the water. And eventually all of that can dam up and cause bigger problems.
Right, so we can talk about ice jams and show you how things play out. I mean, right, we have tons of snow cover still left across portions of the Northeast, for sure, and even into the Midwest here in the northern parts. What happens is, first, you get some of the ice to break up on the waterways.
You do. So the ice breaks up. First, you can have that sheet of ice.
A bit of a thaw.
Completely over underneath the thaw, it breaks up. It becomes chunks now. You have these individual chunks. And then if it rains again, it doesn't even have to rain. You just have the flowing stream. But rain's going to make it worse with more melting snow. And then...
Plus rain, plus melting snow. All the water levels rising in the river.
The water levels rising, and then things start moving. And then when there's a weak spot, or you have a shallow area, or you have a bend in the river, something where it will dam up behind it, water like a reservoir will build up. It can flood surrounding areas, and then if you have a lot of water built up, if that dam releases and breaks, you have a huge, quick, fast flood coming at you.
Exactly. That's the concern this time of year. We're going to go to Reagan Medji, who is seeing the potential for an ice jam firsthand.
And she's along the Delaware River in New Jersey. Good morning to you, Reagan.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, we're seeing potential for an ice jam because that is not happening yet here at Kittatinny Point. We are in the Poconos. We're in New Jersey, right along the border of the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border. And you can see this is a look at the Delaware River. From this point, about 113 miles north, where the beginning of the Delaware River is, this is what you're going to look at, a whole coating of ice. The ice is as thick as 18 inches to 3 feet thick. And I'm standing near the 3-foot mark right now. If I go out any further, you can see some of the ponding. I don't want to go out too far, but this thawing is something that we really are concerned about. So we can see there's some puddles right over here. And then if we walk over this way, we talk about that thawing and the ice shifting and melting. Well, you can see there's a line and there's a crack right here, right down through the ice. And if you look even further, you can see like a nice divide. Now, the Park Service says a slow thaw is what they want, because what will happen is it'll start breaking up and moving. What they don't want is a fast thaw and a lot of rain. And you'll hear what the Park Service has to say about that.
Right now, all of this ice that we see is one giant sheet of ice, and it's actually anchored right down here on the shorelines on both sides, so it's not going anywhere. It's about 3 feet thick. It's not moving. But if the river levels were to come up because of rain, then that whole sheet of ice is going to get lifted, taking probably some of the shoreline with it. And then when that starts to break up, it'll all start moving downstream. And again, that increased potential for jams is right there.
And also an increased potential that if that ice would jam up, then break, all of the communities would be flooded beyond that ice jam. Now, this is the most ice that the National Park Service has seen in 20 years here on the Delaware River. In addition, we did some math. About 1.5 billion gallons of water is frozen right now here on the Delaware River. So if you take another nice look, you can see some people even out there ice fishing. I don't recommend that. According to the New Jersey State Police and even the Park Service, they say you just don't want to trust that ice, guys.
Yeah, the National Weather Service in Boston actually tweeted yesterday and said you got to consider no ice safe right now, just this time of the season.
All right, we appreciate that, Reagan. And here on Weather Center Live, temperature is also a big story. You can melt that ice, bringing more water and dislodging some of that ice. That's interesting.
Yeah, but we've got an interesting story about Minneapolis being warmer than Atlanta on Friday. That is when we come back.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of attorneys. So visit us today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go.
Hi, Phil Swift here. Everyone tells us how much they love Flex Seal. And now we created something really incredible. Flex Seal Colors. The new colorful way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Flex Seal Colors have the same sealing power as the original, now in vibrant colors that can transform and protect virtually anything. Just a quick shot fills cracks and holes, stopping the toughest leaks while remaining completely flexible. It's actually liquid rubber in bold, beautiful colors. Forget thin, runny spray paints. Flex Seal's thick rubberized formula covers fast with just one pass. Perfect for making everything look brand new. Use Flex Seal Colors to stop tough leaks around your home and even repair all your household items with ease. Unlike paint, Flex Seal Colors thick liquid dries to a watertight, flexible, rubberized coating. Ideal for arts and crafts, sealing outdoor decorative items, even projects and hobbies. This artist was able to create a huge mural using only Flex Seal colors. That's amazing! We Flex Sealed everything you see here. Imagine what you could do with Flex Seal colors. Now you can go from dingy and old to colorful and bold. You can get Flex Seal in your choice of color for just $19.99. But wait, we're going to double your order and send you 2 cans. Plus, we'll include a handy can of Flex Shot, the easy way to caulk, bond, and seal virtually anything. You get 2 cans of Flex Seal colors and a handy can of Flex Shot, all for just $19.99. You're going to love Flex Seal colors. Here's how to order.
To order Flex Seal colors, call 1-800-503-5018 or go to getflexseal.com. That's 1-800-503-5018. This offer is not available in stores. Call or go online now.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.